Okay, I'd like to welcome Coach Roy Mulholland, Wesley Woodard, and Jensen Michael to the post-game press conference. First off, congratulations on making it to the NCAA tournament to begin with. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience in this tournament since the announcement on Monday?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So we knew that we would probably come in pretty low in a tough region against some tough teams. So when we heard George Fox, kind of shocked because they're super far away. And we were thinking maybe, at least I was thinking maybe we'd go to Tennessee, maybe we'd go up to Wisconsin and they would be hosting. But you know, it's kind of fun to come to St. Louis because we have a huge fan base, being 50 minutes an hour away, and we have really good fans. And so I thought it was a blessing immediately because yeah, it's fun to travel, it's fun to miss school, it's fun to do all those things, but you don't have a lot of time when you're in another city. You know, you're there for basketball. So I think it's cool to be able to kind of have more of a home crowd atmosphere. So I was really happy when we found out we were going to WashU. More friends and family can come. So
yeah, and I mean, when we saw George Fox, obviously we know we're the underdogs, but that just, I think, makes it more fun because we could come in all week. Coach is like, we're going to be aggressive. We have nothing to lose. Mm-hmm. So we knew that coming in, we could go all out. We didn't have to leave anything because we had nothing to lose.
Yeah, I think I would say all year we've just really been talking about the journey, right? What we're doing together and where we're going. And so the journey took us to St. Louis, and we had a good couple of days. The kids worked hard. We enjoyed being together, and we wanted to make sure it was that way. I think we enjoyed the game. I mean, it didn't obviously end up the way we wanted to, but to play that kind of competition and to go out and compete, and to be honest with you, just proud to watch our kids compete for 40 minutes. You know, it's sometimes it's hard, but our kids played right to the very end, and it was just really, it was fun to see them compete.
Yeah, and just kind of go along with that, can you talk a little bit about your effort? Because you played 40 minutes of basketball nonstop, all the way to the final buzzer. Tell me a little bit about how that's worked for you all season and how it finally culminated into this game with such a great effort.
Yeah, for us, I'm not surprised. It's not unusual. It's kind of a culture, right, that we have, and especially for Wes and Jansen being our captains and kind of leading that culture. It's what they do, and so other people pick up on that. And we really don't talk about the clock or the scoreboard so much. We talk about next possession, trying to get 40 minutes in, even on our bench. We talk about our bench kids who do such a great job on our bench. Everybody has a job to do for 40 minutes, and we just try to instill that in one another and expect that from one another. And I think it's what the game is about, right? It's giving your best and giving your best for the entire 40 minutes, and I couldn't be more proud of the way these kids went about that.
You guys, a great effort tonight. Can you guys, as seniors, tell me a little bit about, you know, how special this is to make the NCAA tournament as a senior?
Okay.
Have that experience.
Sorry, I have a cold. Well, the first time we made it was our freshman year, and so that was really cool to experience on the other side of it. We didn't play that much. But I thought that was really cool as a first college experience, and then to go out as knowing what that felt like and to be able to work for it for the last couple of years and then to be able to go out on that. And another piece of it is like the people that led us to that first moment, like I really looked up to, and they've made a huge difference in my life. And to be able to like kind of follow in that and to be able to do that with Jansen has been really great.
yeah, I mean, I would say we might have got here this year. But it really started with, you know, the seniors. We had our freshman year and sophomore year, junior year. We've had, I mean, I really feel like they pushed us to get here too. It's not just this year's team. And I think that when I think over the 4 years, just starting and ending your career, you know, with a run in the national tournament is pretty special, and a lot of people never even get there. So to do it twice and to do it, it really, like after freshman year, I was like, okay, that was pretty cool. Like that's something to work for. And so every year working for it, yeah, it's not just the team we have this year. It's just like Coach said, it's a culture that has been created, and it's a culture of winning, but it's a culture of joy. It's a culture of working hard, being disciplined in the classroom, being a good student, being involved on campus. It's so much more than basketball, and I think that's a really rare thing. So this is just kind of the icing on the cake to the program.
This group of seniors, not just Jansen and West, but this group of seniors probably has been part of the most successful 4-year run in our program history. And they've been a big part of that, obviously. So many people are, part of that. But I think, Jan's touched on our theme this year was joy. We started with everybody with a bracelet that just said joy. It's a game, we want to enjoy it, but it's also bigger than that for us. This is a priority piece. So because we're a Christian college, that's Jesus, others, and you, right? And you come in third, and so we're paying attention to all of those other priority pieces. We're paying attention to our teammates, and we just believe when the little things fall into place, the wins come. We don't have to focus on wins. If we do all the little things well, and we treat each other well, we have good team chemistry, then at the end of the game, we're going to feel good. We're going to have been successful, win or lose. I think in our locker room today, we didn't win, but I think we feel successful. We went out and competed. We did the things, the kids did the things we asked them to do, and so we don't walk away feeling bad at all. We walk away feeling proud, feeling good about what we've accomplished together, and the journey's been really incredible.
Coach, you got to feel pretty good. You only lose 3 seniors or 4?
We lose this combination of 5, and a kind of an interesting thing. Yeah, so we have Abby, who's been part of us for 4 years and hasn't been able to play, and then we also lose Emily Brandlin, who's a junior, but she's on a 3-2 engineering. But still, when you play 10 kids, and our third group, we probably went 11-12 deep. We certainly have a lot to come back. It's one of the reasons we play so many. We're not trying to do this one year. We're trying to do it year after year after year. So we plug a few holes, and we get back at it, and we try to do, we try to carry on. These ladies have left a legacy, and now somebody has to pick it up and continue it on, and so that's what we're going to try to do.
I know what the philosophy of the college is and what your philosophy of the team is. And I think one thing that happened during the press conference for the Fox players, one of them mentioned the way you guys played. There was more than just basketball to it.
Yeah.
And I really feel good about that.
Yeah. Well, and there is, and that's part of, I think, who we are, right? It's what we talk about. Our worth doesn't come from whether we can make a basket or not, or what we do, and the opposing players are just as critical and just as important, right? They're young ladies trying to do the same thing we are. They have parents and, moms and dads and brothers and sisters, and they're critical as well. So while we compete, we want to make sure it's part of that others, right? We want to make sure we take care of each other, and that extends to the people that we're going to play with as well. And ultimately, I think for all of us, we would say that comes from our faith and who we feel like we are, and how we want to sort of show that outwardly to the people that we play against.
You mentioned about the success of these seniors.
Yeah.
Bookends for NCAA, but what you did in between was unbelievable too.
Yeah, the NCAA National Championship was pretty cool. We've had a chance to cut down a few nets together, and that's been kind of fun. And but yeah, like I say, it's been a 4-year run, we talk in our locker room, our orange group, we call them Orange Crush, that's our third group. Like they're a huge part of that, and that culture in terms of the Orange Crush almost started back their freshman years. They were part of that, right? They began that culture of coming in every day and making people better and cheering, and so that's kind of another cool legacy these two will leave, that it was about the bigger picture, it wasn't about the individual.
Did you believe how well Fox shot 3-pointers?
Well, we knew from watching tape that they were going to do a lot of things, but we certainly knew they could post up and they could play inside. They had just, if you didn't notice, they had just a little bit of height on us, and so we tried to take that away and tried to see if we could make them play from the outside, and they did it. You give them credit. They made plays. They knocked down shots, and we give them a lot of credit, and the way they went about it as well. I mean, they were playing hard, but they were very gracious. They they showed the same kind of sportsmanship, and so it's again, you take away the scoreboard, and it's just a fun game to play against people who are competing and doing it well and doing it right, and we have a lot of respect for the George Fox program and the way they went about what they did.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I wish they were a team that we played consistently in our schedule, but I mean, that's not very likely being so far away, but they were great competitors and their attitudes were great and they were helping us up and telling us good job and, to be so good and be like that is rare, so I have to give, hats off to their coaching staff and their players and their program, because their sportsmanship was really good.
Were you surprised that you were able to slow down their inside game? You did a pretty good job.
Well, we did it at the expense of giving up the perimeter, so we really had to commit bodies. And I think you're right, we did, but we had to do it by committing bodies. And like I say, you pick your poison, and we picked ours. And then when somebody is able to make plays, then you don't get frustrated about that. You have an admiration for a kid who's able to knock down a shot. I think 22 was like 7 for 9 at some point, from the 3 line. And so we tried to make a little bit of an adjustment on that in the second half, but
When someone averages 12 and they hit 28, I don't know how you prepare for that.
That's kind of how it goes. And again, at least it showed that the kids tried to execute the game plan, right? So if there's anything there, the kids did a great job of executing our game plan. And so if we go back and analyze, maybe coach didn't have the greatest game plan, right? But the kids, when you look out on the floor, what they were doing the things we were asking them to do, and they did a great job at it.
Now, it looked like they kind of kept you out of your offense that first half.
Yeah.
They were giving you a little bit of trouble. Now, there again, is that what you were fully expecting, that much pressure, or were they better than you thought?
We haven't found a team that's that long everywhere, right? And so as a result of that, with their speed, they could switch everything. And that really makes it tough to execute and operate against. So we expected it, we had worked for it, but it was one of the reasons why you saw us, at least against the press, trying to attack, right? We knew if we could attack early and we could get some shots, because we knew in the half court it was going to be a little tougher. We scouted them, we knew they played really good half court defense and they jumped a lot of things. So we'd like it to be a little different. I think our kids, the points that we got, we knocked down a lot of tough stuff. They made it that way, and so not a surprise, and kind of what we expected a little bit.
Actually, they commented on your team quickness. I thought you were quicker than maybe what they had expected you to be.
Our kids were aggressive. That's what we asked them to be, and sometimes we had aggressive, turnovers, but we certainly didn't want to come into the game and be passive. Right? We had to force them into doing something. We couldn't just let them do whatever they wanted to do. And so we wanted to go at them. We wanted to be aggressive. And again, I don't take anything away from our kids. I'm very pleased. I'm really proud of what our kids did, but I also give them a bunch of credit, right? They're really highly skilled, athletic kids that know how to play the game, and they deserve the W, and we wish them well as they go on.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Great, thank you.
Congratulations on a great season.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.